Mike, obviously Newcastle United, a team you spent many years at, coming up against them from the opposite point of view, managing as well, what's that going to be like for you?
It's exciting from where I sit here. Obviously, you want to test yourself against the best players, best managers, and that's exactly what we've got tomorrow. So, we've obviously a couple of weeks into pre-season, and we've got the preparations, we've got the things that we're really keen to work on. But then essentially, it's the enjoyment of seeing the fans, hearing them and feeling the atmosphere, and it gives our boys, just an experience to test themselves against top players.
Looking past the football, obviously you mentioned the crowd. It will be a sellout tomorrow, with ticket sales and online stream proceeds going to Gateshead, as far as I know. That's surely a huge boost economically and financially for the club.
Yeah, exactly. Like you say, we're very grateful for them to, come here and bring the first team, and like I say, the boost it gives us is, we can't really measure that. Hopefully we can give a good performance and really look like us. That's what we're focused on, making sure we look like ourselves, regardless of the environment and the noise, the energy, the excitement and the standard of the opposition. That's what we're focused on. But yeah, of course, it's fantastic to build that relationship, and hopefully we can get it every pre-season.
Yeah, just bridging on that, how important is it to you that these two clubs over the road from each other have these really strong ties?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just huge for the club. Like I say, financially more than anything. I've still got good friends there who I've got good relationships with, but essentially the financial assistance that it gives us as a small club like ourselves, with a far smaller fan base than Newcastle. Every little thing like this, every bit of PR, every round in every cup we get to, it all incrementally makes a huge difference to us.
And just finally, given that we're still early in pre-season, what sort of a game are you expecting tomorrow?
A really high intensity one. Like I say, I want it to look like us. Regardless of the standard and the calibre of opposition, I want us to play with courage, play with confidence, and I want to see what the boys have been working on come out, especially the preparations and the intentions. I've said to them today, the outcome is out of our control, but all of the intentions, what we're looking for, as long as we can see that drip feeding into their own understanding, then that'll be the main thing. But like I say, it's going to be an exciting game. It's going to be high intensity. We are, not going to give them a second, and I'm sure, like I say, that they'll look forward to that because they want to test themselves.
And I mean, you touched on a little bit there, Mike, the courage side of things, and wanting the boys to kind of play the way that you're trying to get them to in the league tomorrow against obviously a high standard of opposition. Is that sort of the main thing that's been drilled into them this week ahead of Saturday?
Well, it's what we've been trying to drill in from day one, of course, but we've got new players, new squad, and we know the majority of them from last season, but they're still integrating, they're still learning, developing, and we've got to make sure that solidifies as a group and obviously corresponds to the outcome on a match day. So, it's easy to sit here in a comfortable, warm environment with no noise, no pressure, no expectation, and talk about this, but those boys have got to go onto that field and do it when the pressure, anticipation and the fear does come up within them, and they've still got to do it anyway. So we've done all the preparations we can, and I've got every confidence in them.
And how much of a positive is, I mean, you touched on the pressure side of things there, that last week and this week, there's a bit of an atmosphere. It's maybe not your sort of traditional kind of pre-season fare where there's obviously nothing riding on it, so fans can maybe find it a bit difficult to get themselves up for it. But how important is it to kind of have that sort of pressure and atmosphere behind these games to help prepare you really for the league season?
Yeah, it adds. It certainly does. I don't think the fans will need any getting up for it tomorrow. I think there'll be a great buzz around the place, and it'll be really good to see. And again, come and experience. I've got my family coming. Kids are excited. Won't stop talking about it. Split camp on who they want to win. But yeah, like I say, we're a community-based club, and the more we can kind of get these occasions and really put a good performance on and make sure that we play with that positivity and the courage, and we can try and increase the amount of times we do that.
And of course, the last time Newcastle's first team came here, you played yourself in the first half for Newcastle. I suppose at that point in time, for you, there probably won't have been much sort of thought in your mind on being on the other side of things in the future.
Yeah, I spoke to the boys about that today. The last time I came here, I can't remember the detail, but I just remember coming away thinking they've got a clear game plan, and they pretty much passed us off the field, especially when I was playing anyway. So I come away with a real feeling of just like I've been taught a lesson here, and wanting to really learn and understand that. And I said to the lads, you want the Newcastle team to go away, not just saying, oh, you're a good little team and giving us some few little plaudits and things like that. You want them to really take notice, and we've got to earn that. So that's what tomorrow's about.
Yeah, and I mean, from your point of view, obviously having played at both levels, I mean, what is the kind of quality difference really? Obviously from the outside looking in, a lot of fans will see, Premier League, non-league, and think it's, the huge, massive gulfing difference in quality. But obviously when you look at some of the lads who are playing here, quite a few of them have come from kind of Premier League academies. Obviously a fair few have come from Newcastle's academy themselves, and I suppose there's sometimes only fine margins in kind of making it in those Premier League academies versus then getting released and kind of trickling down the levels a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's a big question. There's plenty of depth to that. The difference, I think, if you look at it simply individually with a lot of our players, there's not that much difference. If you were to put one of our players into one of their training games or even into a Premier League match, a lot of them will be able to handle the intensity, the technical and tactical side. But I think when collectively you've got a group of players that are slightly better in all the areas, I think it does make the difference. And I think to break that down into why, I think when they walk onto the field, they've got a bulletproof mentality and a confidence within themselves. So that translates to always wanting to be on the ball, always wanting to get the better of their opponent. And that comes in of looking to get the edge all the time and the detail. So a lot of their players will be doing things naturally that they won't have been coached, that our boys are like, that's incredible, that's amazing. But because to them they just want to win, and it actually comes out on the field as little nudges here, or that anticipation, or somebody looks 5 yards quicker than someone else, and it's all just translates into their knowledge of wanting to win and the actual actions. So yeah, individually there'll be a lot of our lads that could match toe-to-toe in certain areas, but yeah, certainly collectively in over 90 minutes and over a season, yeah, there's a big difference.
Yeah, and I mean, just on the sort of fitness side of things tomorrow in terms of availability and things like that, obviously Greg didn't play last weekend, had a bit of a minor issue by the sounds of things. A few of the boys haven't quite been involved in pre-season yet. Obviously still a few trialists in the mix off the back of last week as well. So I mean, what's the sort of overall picture looking like at the minute?
Yeah, really good, really good. We've got a few niggling little things, but nothing to really remark on. Greg is absolutely fine, and we didn't play him last week tactically because he was getting ready for this game. It's such a big one. No, he had a tight groin, that was it. It was pure protection. He trained the next couple of days, so he's absolutely fine. And yeah, like I say, we've got pretty much a full bill of health, so really good in that respect.